Welcome to the Stoic Tide. First thing every morning before you arise, say out loud, I believe 3 times. Ovid. Each morning when you wake up, you perceive new day as a challenge. Work, responsibilities, news, expectations from others, all these exist, but they do not define you. The noise from the outside world is just data. What matters is how you respond. You can choose to remain calm, control your thoughts, and maintain your inner rhythm instead of letting it be disturbed. Fatigue, failure, or moments of doubt don't diminish your value. They are opportunities to observe, to learn, and to move forward. You do not need to wait for inspiration or approval. A simple reminder at the start of the day. A clear, calm affirmation can guide your behavior, focus your energy, and create the motivation to do the right thing. It is precisely these small, steady, and conscious choices today that will build strength and initiative you need. In this video, we will walk through 12 affirmations you should tell yourself every morning. They guide you to live proactively, cultivate discipline, and maintain clear direction in your life. Watch the whole video to understand how to apply each affirmation and to realize the true power of self-mastery one day at a time. I don't chase. I attract what belongs to me. 1. I don't chase. I attract what belongs to me. Each morning you greet the day with work, responsibilities, and external expectations. The pressure is present, but it does not define you. Many grown men constantly force themselves to chase deadlines, their boss's gaze, silent judgments from colleagues, or family expectations. Yet the more they chase, the more exhausted they feel. The more they try to prove themselves, the emptier they feel inside. I once fell into that trap. At 35, I threw myself into work, hoping that promotions, money, and praise would fill the emptiness inside. I signed up for courses, exercised, and joined every social gathering just to avoid being left behind. But when I returned to my own room, I realized I still lacked a true sense of fulfillment from within. Then I read a quote from the philosopher Epictetus. Some things are up to us, and some are not up to us. It taught me that things beyond our control cannot determine our value. I began to look inward. What do I really want? Who am I living for? And why does everything I chase always seem to elude me? Life is like a magnet. When you focus on what is beyond your control, you feel smaller and more insecure. When you pour all your energy into chasing recognition or social achievements, you turn yourself into a stranger to your own being. Renowned religious leader Thomas S. Monson once emphasized, "We can't direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails." I began practicing something simple, returning to myself. Every morning I ask, what will I develop inside myself today? I pay attention to small habits. Waking up early, breathing deeply, reading, calling a relative I haven't spoken to in a while. I no longer obsess over what I haven't achieved. Instead, I focus on upgrading myself bit by bit, cultivating discipline, appreciating the present, staying calm in the face of difficulty. What happened next? Everything began to shift. More positive people found their way into my life. Opportunities knocked, and my confidence and peace grew stronger. What I once sought in others appeared when I stopped chasing. This is not magic but a natural law. You are no longer a leaf drifting in life's current. You are the anchor, the magnet for your own values and destiny. The biggest mistake is thinking your worth depends on chasing someone or something. In reality, the more you chase, the further you push what you want away. When you invest in yourself, when you feel full inside, the outside world reflects that value to you. Don't turn yourself into someone begging for recognition or love. Don't place the key to your happiness in someone else's hands. Tomorrow when you look in the mirror, remember you don't have to chase anyone. Be the person you yourself want to be with. Say to yourself, I don't chase. I attract what belongs to me. That's how you reset your inner compass. You're no longer someone running after fate. You're the master of your own gravitational pull. Discipline is my language, and consistency is my superpower. 2. Discipline is my language, and consistency is my superpower. Early morning, the alarm rings. In your mind, two streams of thought wrestle. Sleep a little longer or get up and do what you promised yourself you would. This battle is invisible to others, but you are the only one who decides who wins. Most progress or stagnation is determined in moments like these. Inspiration may get you started, but it will not take you to the finish line. Everyone has felt the excitement of signing up for the gym, buying self-development books, or making a list of goals. But as inspiration fades and motivation dries up, the vicious cycle appears. Skipping the workout today, making excuses tomorrow, feeling guilty but changing nothing. Procrastination becomes a habit. The days blur in tiresomeness, ending in regret. The core here is discipline. Discipline is not flashy, and it doesn't need to be displayed. It is the inner voice that reminds you who you are and what you want. Discipline is not something to brag about or prove to others. It is an internal commitment. Promise to yourself that no matter what happens outside, you will maintain ascertained standard of action, not letting fleeting emotions or circumstance dictate your path. The power of consistency is like water dripping on a stone one day. 2 days, nothing happens. But over the years, the stone is worn smooth. Every small repeated action accumulates into a great achievement. You don't need to be a superhero or perfect. You just need not to stop. A common mistake is to believe that motivation alone will lead to success. Motivation is just a fleeting spark. Discipline is the steady heat that keeps the fire burning. You can't control your emotions every day, but you can always control your repeated actions. Choose to maintain discipline regardless of mood, turning it into a silent superpower that no one can take away. I once knew a friend, David, who struggled with procrastination throughout his youth. He tried setting big goals, plastered reminders everywhere, and bought expensive gadgets to force himself to change. But it all lasted just a few weeks. Then one day he decided not to change everything at once, but to focus on one small act at a set time. Writing in a journal for 5 minutes every morning. 3 months later, this habit brought in many other good routines. Discipline does not come from big things, but from repeating the simplest acts. In truth, the issue is not fleeting motivation, but sustainable discipline. When you see discipline as your language and consistency as your superpower, you are no longer a victim of procrastination. You become the true author of each day you live. Whenever you face laziness or a reasonable excuse to put things off, say to yourself, "Discipline is my language and consistency is my superpower." You'll see the true power of discipline and consistency begin to transform your life step by step. 3. No outside voice is louder than no outside voice is louder than my inner truth. My inner truth. All around you, there are always voices, opinions, and judgments from colleagues, friends, family, and even strangers on social media. People easily tell you how you should live, which path to choose, and who you ought to become. But in truth, only you truly understand what is suitable for yourself. Your inner truth is the solid foundation from which every choice should arise. In modern society, the pressure to conform, standards of success, and constant comparison occur every day. Many people feel lost when faced with a flood of conflicting opinions, or when a criticism, a cold look, or a careless comment makes their entire day feel heavy. This state is so common that many forget their power to choose their own reaction. It's easy to let outside perspectives guide your feelings and overshadow your core values. External noise is inevitable. Even great figures have endured criticism and social pressure. Looking back at history, we see Galileo Galilei as someone who publicly defended scientific truth, even in the face of ridicule and being forced to recant before a religious court. He did not let outside voices silence his beliefs and inner values. That steadfastness paved the way for the progress of human knowledge. becoming a testament to the power of living true to oneself. This is also true for each individual. The strength to stand firm amidst the noise does not come from stubbornness, but from clarity and honesty with your inner values. In life, everyone will have moments where they must choose follow the crowd or listen to themselves. When you rely on your own values and goals, you won't be swept away by praise or criticism or social pressure. This is the foundation for each person to keep their direction, even when surrounded by a multitude of differing opinions. Asterisk. Stoic philosophy emphasizes no one but you has the right to define your worth. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, once lost everything and became a stranger in a new land. Instead of chasing after others' expectations, he rebuilt his life on philosophy and developed his strength from within. Ash wrote, "Man conquers the world by conquering himself." The lesson here is that only by establishing a strong foundation for your own values and goals can you live peacefully and steadily through all external storms. The biggest mistake many make is thinking they must be accepted or acknowledged by everyone. But the more you try to please everyone, the more you lose connection with yourself. When you are brave enough to live authentically, your inner voice grows stronger and becomes the compass that guides you through any circumstance. Tomorrow, if feedback or judgment comes your way, pause and ask yourself, is this my truth or just someone else's expectation? Don't let the noise drown out your inner voice. Remind yourself, no outside voice is louder than my inner truth. Live like Galileo, like Zeno. Hold firmly to your inner truth. Dare to be yourself, no matter how loud the noise of the world may be. 4. I am already enough. But I choose I am already enough. But I choose to grow. To grow. Your worth is not measured by your achievements, is not dependent on the gaze of others, nor is it limited by past failures or mistakes. Only when you realize you are already enough can you stand firm amidst all comparison, expectation, and pressure. You move forward each day with self-mastery, not as someone chasing after acceptance. But how do you achieve the feeling of in a society that always demands more? Progress is celebrated, change is encouraged. But hand in hand comes the feeling of never being good enough. People believe that only when they reach another milestone, master another skill, or own something else, will life truly have meaning. Many times you may ask yourself, why can others do it while I'm still struggling? This is the lingering feeling of inadequacy, comparison, and sometimes a touch of shame. I have a friend, Kevin, who was a living example of this mindset. He was hardworking, trying to be the model husband, the excellent employee, the reliable friend. But the more he tried, the more he felt he had never met expectations. Every achievement brought only momentary satiety, followed by anxiety, fear of being left behind. On long nights, he thought about every shortcoming, blaming himself for not being good enough. Everything changed when a small incident happened. A bout of illness forced him to take several weeks off work. No deadlines, no targets. No one cared what he accomplished. He was left only with himself. For the first time he asked, if I never do anything more, am I still worthy of love? The answer was yes. In his most powerless moment, he felt the most at peace. No need to compete or prove himself. He was still whole, valuable, and deserving of respect and love. Kevin didn't stop there. He used that sense of wholeness as the foundation for new motivation growth that comes from gratitude and self-love, not from inadequacy. He accepted his flaws, focused on his strengths, and was patient with the process of change without self-criticism for stumbles. He exercised not to become someone else, but out of gratitude for his body. He learned new skills not to outdo anyone, but to live out his own potential. You may have been like Kevin, thinking that only when you are wealthier or more successful will you be worthy. But true value doesn't lie at the starting point or the finish line. It is found in how you treat yourself every day. gratitude, appreciation, and continuing to unlock your potential. The philosopher Aristotle once said, "Well-being is attained little by little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself." There's no need to chase after anyone or prove yourself to the world. Just know that today you are enough, but you still choose to move forward. If tomorrow morning you find yourself comparing to me and more successful, pause for a minute, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am already enough, but I choose to grow. You are not a chaser. You are someone who chooses to move toward your own light day by day with gratitude and belief in your true worth. Have you ever felt like Kevin? Always thinking you're not enough only to realize true value comes from gratitude and growth within. Share your thoughts or story in the comments below. Every share is a way to remind and inspire both yourself and others on this journey. 5. I don't fear the unknown. I don't fear the unknown. I own the unknown. Some decisions make your heartbeat quicken. Being told you're transferred to a strange city, walking into an interview room not knowing what will be asked, or trying something for the first time without certainty of the outcome. The feelings of nervousness and insecurity are instincts that protect us, keeping us cautious. But if you let fear dominate, your life shrinks. The comfort zone is safe, but it's also the zone of no change. Big opportunities appear when you step beyond familiar boundaries. Normally, people want to retreat towards familiar. What if I can't do it? What if everything gets worse? A flood of questions holds you back. But he realized a truth. Fear does not protect future. It only takes away the present opportunity. He decided to accept the offer. In the early days, new technology, new people, mistakes, and even failing a presentation. Every stumble brought a new lesson about himself, about others, about leadership. Gradually, fear gave way to curiosity. Curiosity about how far he could go. Curiosity about how it would feel to accomplish something he never dared imagine. He proactively sought advice from experienced people, took notes on every lesson learned from failure. After half a year, he became a trusted manager and discovered his ability to inspire and connect people, something he never thought he had. Most of what we fear exists in imagination. The unknown isn't a barrier, but a map yet to have footsteps upon it. When you enter uncharted territory, you begin to write your own story. You are no longer passive, but become the master of each new experience. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Fear is only the shadow of the mind. When you shine light on it with action, on the other side of fear lies a vast space for growth and opportunities that others do not have. What makes the difference between those who leave a mark and the masses is not talent, but the courage to face the unknown. Each morning you can choose to see risk as an enemy or as an invitation to test yourself and learn. A common mistake is waiting to feel ready before beginning. In reality, no one is ever truly ready for what they've never done. Only by stepping forward do you learn to adapt and discover your potential. Tomorrow, if a change or challenge frightens you, pause, breathe deeply, and remind yourself, I don't fear the unknown. I own the unknown. Today, choose a small action you've hesitated over because you weren't sure of the outcome. Enroll in a new skill class. Send that feedback email or strike up a conversation with someone new. This is the first step to becoming the master of every land yet to be explored. Opening up your future with your own courage and initiative, you won't just overcome fear. You are opening a whole new world for yourself step by step. 6. I am not behind. I'm exactly where I am not behind. I'm exactly where I need to be. Asterisk I need to be. Everyone's journey is like climbing a mountain in the early morning mist. Every step has its own rhythm. No one knows exactly where the peak is, nor can anyone predict what awaits around the next bend. Some people move quickly, some conserve their energy and move at a leisurely pace, while others stop to enjoy the view before continuing. If you spend all your time looking around, you'll always see someone who's gone further or someone who's still far behind the starting line. But if you keep comparing, you'll forget the true meaning of this journey to climb in your own way with your own strength, experience, and breath in the presentment. The feeling of being left behind is a quiet worry many modern people experience. When you see friends succeed, colleagues get promoted, or neighbors just bought a new car, it's easy to wonder, have I gone far enough? Why can they do it while I keep circling? This comparison is like a distorted mirror, making your own achievements seem faded, and you forget that everyone carries a different baggage, a unique background. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that everyone has their own clock for personal growth. You're not a mass-produced product, nor a copy of anyone else. When you stop comparing, you'll realize that what you have, no matter how small, is the result of hundreds, thousands of choices, efforts, and stumbles that only you truly understand. Maturity, understanding, and self-gratitude will need time to ripen. No one can harvest sweet fruit before it's ready. The philosopher Plato once said, "Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow." Patience with yourself is the foundation for all sustainable progress. You can't force a tree to grow faster, nor can you make the sun rise earlier than its natural schedule. Some experiences only come after you've endured enough trials, losses, or simply waited in silence, just like a climber who keeps their breath steady and enjoys every step on their own path. The greatest mistake is thinking that speed determines value. In reality, many people rush ahead only to realize they've taken the wrong path. Some early successes don't last. Some who reach the finish line late live more fully and happily than anyone. You're not truly missing out on anything if you're living according to your own process. Tomorrow, if anxiety about being slow or falling behind appears, close your eyes and imagine yourself as a climber amidst the mist. No one knows who will reach the summit first. The important thing is that you keep your breath steady, keep your willpower, and enjoy each step of your journey. Remind yourself, I am not behind. I'm exactly where I need to be. You are not behind anyone. You are in the right place at the right time, fully prepared for your own journey. We've made halfway through today's lesson. Your presence is a huge encouragement to use in our journey to bring the true values of Stoic philosophy to more people. So please like and share this video to share these lessons with your family and friends. 7. Every I face redirects me to the every no I face redirects me to the right yes. Right yes. Don't see rejection as failure. A slam door doesn't make you lose your way. It simply reminds you that your current direction isn't the right fit. Is an invisible arrow from life guiding you towards better opportunities, people and choices, things you may not have realized yet. A rejection doesn't judge you as unworthy. It simply signals that this path won't give you the result you desire. I've been through this myself. When I applied to join an important project, I was flatly rejected. There was a fleeting sense of disappointment and frustration, along with a bit of self-doubt. Am I capable enough? Should I give up? Many people would see this as the end. I did not. I paused, observed, and analyzed. I realized that the project didn't suit my core strengths. It would only distract rather than develop them. Instead of being disappointed, I saw that I'd just been redirected towards something more necessary, a direction I hadn't seen before. Know our opportunities to evaluate, reorient, and grow. When you're rejected, you're forced to pause, look honestly, and ask yourself what's important. What is truly worth your time and energy? Stoic philosophy teaches that nothing can truly hurt you if you accept it with reason and use it to move towards something better. As the philosopher Cleanthes said, fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. After that rejection, I focused on another project less attention-grabbing, but suited to my skills and passion. I invested time, energy, and persistent effort. A few months later, a major client accepted the project, and it succeeded beyond expectations. If I hadn't stopped, hadn't observed, hadn't seen the no as a signal, the real opportunity would have passed by. That first rejection led me to the right yes, something I'd never noticed before. A common mistake is letting the feeling of rejection drive your decisions. Many give up or dive into something else just to prove themselves. See every no as a guiding hand, gentle but firm, helping you turn in the right direction. This way you keep your calm patience and keep moving forward without losing your way. Each morning, remind yourself nothing happens in vain. Rejection isn't meant to stop you, but to help you observe, learn, and choose more wisely. Ask yourself, what is this no trying to show me? Then rejection becomes your teacher, not your enemy. It teaches you self-worth, right priorities, and the ability to adapt. Tomorrow, if you face a no from your boss, a colleague, or an opportunity, take a deep breath and remind yourself, every no I face redirects me to the right yes. Write down the more suitable opportunities you could pursue or the skills you need to develop while you wait. This helps keep you on the right path, turning setbacks into stepping stones and rejection into milestones that guide you. You are not crushed by failure. You are not drowned by rejection. Each no is a guiding hand leading you to a better yes, a better path, and a better version of yourself. 8. My time. Energy and peace are me. Time, energy, and peace are sacred. Sacred, time, energy, and peace cannot be bought back or recovered once lost. Imagine them as three precious gems in your hand. Every minute that passes, every second wasted, is a gem that falls and never returns. Yet many live as if these gems are infinite, letting others use them up for unimportant matters, for meaningless arguments. I once read a story about Michael, a data analyst in New York. He said yes to every request, extra meetings, side projects, helping colleagues, and taking care of family. At the end of each day, he was exhausted, mentally drained, and irritable for no reason. He realized he didn't know his own limits, didn't distinguish what was important. His health declined, his relationships faded, and his joy faded away. The real problem was that he didn't know how to set boundaries for those three precious things: time, energy, and peace. He hadn't learned to say no to things that didn't fit, hadn't chosen what truly deserved his effort. Busyness ate away at his mind, making him forget why he worked, forget himself. This happens to many people. We feel we have to say yes, have to meet expectations, have to prove ourselves. We give away too much time and energy without realizing their true value. A meaningless call, an unimportant email, a never-ending argument. All these add up to mental pressure, draining your clarity and happiness. Michael changed things in a simple but effective way. He determined his most important personal time, prioritized essential work, and learned to say no without guilt. He dropped pointless meetings, declined unsuitable projects, and set quiet time each morning for reading and reflection. At first, he was a bit anxious, afraid of being judged, but gradually his energy became more focused, his decisions more thoughtful, and most importantly, he regained his inner peace. Stoic philosophy emphasizes inner peace is the greatest asset. Not money or fame, but your ability to actively protect your time, energy, and mind. When you set boundaries, you don't just protect yourself. You also create space to invest in what truly matters. Family, health, learning, and creativity. The world will always have demands. Always try to pull you off course. Only you control your response. You can remind yourself each morning, my time, energy, and peace are sacred. This mantra reminds you that every choice must respect these three gems. Say no to the meaningless, prioritize the important, and preserve your peace. This is how to live proactively without getting swept away by the endless whirlpool of responsibility and others' expectations. Today, try a small action. Set aside 30 minutes for yourself without interruption. Read, take a walk, or just sit in silence. This is an investment in your three precious gems: time, energy, and peace that will help you walk through your day more firmly, decisively, and calmly. You're not just safeguarding these three things for yourself, but also sending a clear message. You are the master of your life. To anything or anyone that does not respect them, you have the right to say no. With that right, you become stronger, more self-directed, and ready to face every challenge with calm and clarity. I am built for pressure, prepared for purpose, and powered by faith. 9. I am built for pressure, prepared for purpose, and powered by faith. Pressure isn't meant to break you. It's not a punishment or a judgment from life. Pressure is a challenge, a training ground where your true metal is forged. Imagine you are a steel bar. Steel isn't made strong in a quiet room. Only under compression, under fire, under impact does it become tough and sharp. People are the same. Moments of tension, difficulty, failure, or disappointment are the hammer strikes that help you become resilient. I once witnessed a man named Mark, a technology project manager, facing a string of relentless pressures, constant deadlines, team crises, demanding clients, and heavy family responsibilities. Each day, he felt as if he was stretched to the breaking point, sometimes nearly collapsing under the world's weight. But instead of quitting, Mark changed his perspective. Pressure was not his enemy, but his teacher. Every hardship was a lesson, every challenge a chance to grow stronger and more enduring. The strength Mark discovered came not just from discipline or logic, but from deep faith. He believed that every experience, even the hard ones, has a purpose, and that an invisible hand was guiding him each step of the way. This faith wasn't blind. It was the awareness that he was never alone, that a greater force supported him even in exhaustion or confusion. Every time pressure mounted, Mark would breathe deeply and remind himself he was built to withstand it, that his goals were worth every effort, and that this faith kept him standing. Pressure will always be there from work, from family, from within. Stress or fatigue is natural, but it doesn't define you. Challenges are not for fearing. They're your chance to prove your ability to fulfill your life's purpose and to live out your faith. When you walk through pressure with faith and reason, you mature. Your spirit grows sturdier and every step becomes meaningful. Pressure in Stoic philosophy helps you discover your strengths, builds patience, and forges resilience that you can't develop during easy times. The biggest mistake is to treat pressure as your enemy. When you see it as an opportunity, every small failure, harsh feedback, or unexpected challenge becomes part of your training, making you steady for what really matters. Deep faith helps you stand tall. You're not fighting fueled alone, but lifted by an inner power every step of the way. If pressure arises, a tough project, an important decision, or a personal challenge, remind yourself, I am built for pressure, prepared for purpose, and powered by faith. Breathe deeply. Stand tall. See every challenge as a teacher, a test, and an opportunity to prove your courage and faith. Pressure doesn't defeat you. It shapes you. Every hardship overcome is a brick in the foundation of your strength, courage, and self-mastery. Through faith, you never walk alone. You walk with direction, inner strength, and trust in the goodness ahead. Have you ever faced pressures that made you want to give up, but then found the strength within to overcome? Share your story or lessons from facing pressure in the comments below. 10. I am the author, not the audience of I am the author, not the audience of my life. My life. Each person's life is like a blank book. No lines pre-written, no pega predestined. You can stand and stare at the blank pages, dreaming of the story you want, but if you only observe, it will never become real. Many people spend their lives as spectators, watching others step on stage, listening to other stories, then wondering why their own life isn't as exciting. This passivity makes time slip by meaninglessly, while passion quietly fades into regret. Many people grow up, get jobs, build families and careers without ever truly asking, what do I really want? What would my story look like if I wrote it myself? They let circumstances, family expectations, co-workers' advice, or public opinion steer every big and small decision. Their work, relationships, and personal goals are often the results of choices others wanted for them. In fifth state, it's easy to feel like you're just an extra in your own life, always waiting for someone else to pick up the pen. Stoic philosophy shows the key point is you were not born to be an audience member. Every decision, every change is in your hands. Even though reality brings many ties and outside pressures, taking initiative even in the smallest things is the beginning of life control. It could be planning your day, saying no to things that don't match your values, or simply daring to try something new even if no one supports you. Most important is realizing your biggest role is not to be an extra passing through the days. You are the director, the author, the main storyteller in your own life. No one else can pick up the pen for you, even if they want to. Every proactive decision, every meaningful action is a brushstroke painting your personal imprint. Stoic philosophy reminds us that greatest control is not over the outside world, but over yourself. True success isn't about everything going smoothly, but about taking responsibility for every action. Every result, every step, whether it ends in failure or triumph. Philosopher Zeno of Citium once said, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing." The true meaning of life comes from consistent choices, no matter how small, every day. Each small intentional step leads you toward a meaningful story. Even when faced with challenges, failures, or rejection, proactive people see these as indispensable chapters in their book. Each difficulty adds depth, uniqueness, and character to your journey. Ask yourself, if I'm the author, how would I write this next part? This mindset keeps you grounded in personal responsibility, turning every circumstance into a chapter of growth. Tomorrow, when facing a major decision or the feeling of being swept along by others, remind yourself, I am the author, not the audience of my life. Write down 3 decisions today you will make for yourself, not for anyone else. You are no longer the bystander of your life. You hold thepen. You are the director, actor, and screenwriter, creating a story that is meaningful, unique, and whole in a way only you can. Write. I rise today to walk like the person I've been praying to. Become 11. I rise today to walk like the person I've been praying to become. Don't wait until you feel confident enough or ready enough to start something. Such thoughts pull you into a cycle of procrastination and anxiety, turning dreams into mere shadows in your mind. In reality, change doesn't come from perfect external conditions, but from how you choose to walk, think, and act today, right now. Every action, no matter how small, lays the first brick for your best self. Imagine standing before the mirror each morning, looking into your own face and telling yourself, today I will act, think, and live as person I wish to become. You may not be perfect, but the moment you choose to behave that way, you begin to turn your vision into reality. Philosopher Zeno of Citium once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the heart of the Stoic spirit. Alignment between desire and action is the only path to make dreams come true. If you only dream, but never act, you'll remain still. But when you walk like the person you wish to become, every choice and decision accumulates into the person you've always prayed for. Many tell themselves, when I'm good enough, confident enough, knowledgeable enough, then I'll start to change. That's a vicious cycle. Confidence does not come from waiting. It forms through action. When you behave as your desired self, you build confidence, develop skills, and create continuous progress. Every choice today, no matter how small, is a step closer to the person you want to be. A common mistake is to delay until perfect time. In reality, there's no perfect time. Life is always in flux, full of challenges and uncertainties. If you keep waiting, you'll stay stuck. Instead, begin today. Live as your desired self. Practice the habits, make choices, and take the actions that reflect that person. Over days and weeks, the change becomes clear. Not a sudden leap, but a steady accumulation. Every morning, remind yourself, today I will act like the person I wish to become. When making decisions, ask, does this reflect my best self? When facing difficulty, ask, can I respond as my best self would? Consistency in attitude and action will become your language. And gradually, that dream version will become a vivid reality. Tomorrow, facing choices or challenges, remind yourself you don't have to wait until you're ready to move forward. Act as the person you've been praying to become. Every action today reflects your dream, your values, and your deepest goals. Today, spend 5 minutes writing down 3 small actions you'll take as your best self. It might be how you communicate, manage time, or handle challenges. Every action is a brushstroke, creating the picture you once prayed for. You are no longer someone who only dreams or waits. You are the one who moves, acts, and makes your dreams come true through every decision. You are the best version you've ever prayed for. And today is the day you live fully as that version. I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become. 12. I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become. Your past does not define you. Mistakes, failures, or regrets are not chains that bind you today. They are only memories, bricks you use to build the foundation of a new version. The version you consciously choose. Every day you stand before the chance to rewrite your story. And that power lies entirely in your hands. I once saw a middle-aged man who had made many mistakes, unfinished jobs, broken relationships, missed opportunities. He lived in self-blame and torment, locking himself in the darkness of the past. Every time he looked in the mirror, he saw someone not good enough, a person he never wanted to become. His energy and joy for life gradually eroded. One day he changed his outlook. The past was just material, not a sentence. Every experience, even failed or mistaken ones, held lessons. He began to note down what he learned: patience, responsibility, honesty, and how to face challenges. He didn't erase his memories, but he no longer let them control today's choices. He used his past as a foundation for growth to enrich himself instead of locking himself in regret. He started acting more proactively. He set clear goals, small consistent steps towards the version he wanted to become. His habits changed, waking up early, exercising, reading, and reflecting on today's choices. Every morning he'd remind himself, I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become. This phrase was not just words, but a compass for his actions and decisions. A common mistake is letting the past or old labels dictate the present. Many people tag themselves, I'm a failure. I'm lazy. I'm unlucky. But those labels only matter if you let them. When you realize you write your own story, you unlock the power to change every day, every action, every thought. Stoic philosophy emphasizes people control their thoughts, choices, and actions, no matter the past. You can change what has happened, but you can always decide how to respond and where to go today. This is what creates self-mastery and inner freedom. No one can take away your right to choose who you are. Tomorrow, when facing an opportunity or challenge, remind yourself, I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become. Let the past be Allison, not a barrier. Use old experiences to build resilience, grow strength, and construct a better version. Today, write down 3 actions or habits you want to adopt to become the version you choose. It could be how you approach work, how you communicate, or how you care for yourself. Every action is a new line. Every habit a brushstroke in the story of your life. You are not who you used to be. You write your own story. Every choice today, every action today brings you closer to the version you want to be. steadfast, self-possessed, and whole. The journey of elevating yourself does conclusion not begin with fleeting inspiration or distant promises, but with small, consistent choices each day. Each morning's affirmation is a chance to lay first brick for your best self. You don't have to chase others' approval or success. Focus on growing yourself, and what's right for you will come naturally from inner abundance. Discipline and perseverance are the superpowers that help you overcome procrastination and challenges. No outside voice is stronger than your inner truth. You are already enough, but you choose to grow every day. You don't fear the unknown because courage and adaptability will guide you. Failure and rejection are not obstacles, but signposts to better opportunities. Time, energy, and peace are your most precious assets. Protect them. You are the author of your story, and every action today brings your best vision to life. Today, which affirmation will you choose to say to yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. If these messages are helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the Stoic Tide.